What's going on, lads and lasses? It's ended at St James's Park. Brighton 1, Newcastle United 0. What the hell just happened? I cannot believe that result today at St James's Park. The referee was an absolute shambles once again. With Peter Banks as the referee this season. That is 2 games he has ref this season for Newcastle United, and we have been on the end of a defeat in both of them. I'm absolutely disgusted with the way that officiating was done today. Brighton were absolutely disgusting as well, the way they played that game, the way they approached that game. You could see they weren't interested in the game at all. And then, to score in the game after being heavily on the defence the entire game, and then Danny Welbeck just getting a cheap shot at goal, their only shot at goal as well, for quite a bit of the match, and they managed to get it in, and it was just completely disgusting against the run of play, heavily against the run of play, and it's not on. At the end of the day, we should have been coming away from that game as the winners. We were absolutely, on them all the time in that game. The referee was just absolutely terrible, giving soft call after soft call. And it's, I'm not at all surprised, to be honest, because it's Peter Banks. He's a dirty, dirty bastard, and he does it every game. He's a scouse rat. He's always doing this when he refs Newcastle United's games. He did it in the game down at Craven Cottage, where we ended up losing 3-1 in that. We've ended up losing 1-0 today again because of, that stupid bastard of a ref. And then we'll see Danny Welbeck going off. I don't believe he was injured, to be honest. I think it was a lot more, play acting once again by Brighton. They seem to be doing a lot of that today. And if I was the Brighton manager, I'd be very, very disgusted, to be honest, with the way my players acted in the game. And to be honest, it's probably the manager that put them up to it, to be honest, obviously. But I'd be very disgusted to have to take that kind of approach, to come away from St James's Park with 3 points in the bag, because that is just not the way you want to be, seen as a manager. You want to be going into games, and winning them by your pure ability as a manager, by the team's ability. You don't want to be going in there and doing it the dirty way, and winning games by dark arts, as some people like to call it, but that's very, very disappointing results, and especially after having to wait 2 weeks of an international break to come back to see, the lads lose 1-0 to Brighton in such a horrible fashion as well. We had quite a few chances to be able to do something, but unfortunately, there was a lot of favouritism towards Brighton in the game from the officials, and it was quite obvious to see. And again, there was a chance where we could have gotten a penalty in the game on 2 occasions. It was looked at the first one where Veltman, of course, clearly handballed it, in my opinion. You'll see it on the highlights if you haven't seen the match, but clearly, Veltman handballs it. Gets looked at on VAR by, of course, the Mackham, Tony Harrington. And we all know what his decision was going to be. Even if he did see, it be a handball, he was obviously going to say that it's not. And that's exactly what he did. He said it was not a handball. And then on the other occasion, there was another shout. And that one didn't even get looked at, to be honest. But I've got to say, absolutely disgusting. Not the result we wanted today. Obviously, we want to come away from the game, 3 points in the bag, or at least get something out of the game. It should definitely be 3 points, though, against Brighton, because they just weren't there. They just didn't seem to want to play. And then they got the heaviest against the run of play goal you could ever see, and then the referee just giving them everything, right, left and centre. There was a moment in the game, where Isak broke through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. I think he should have went for the chip. He went for put it around him. Instead, he should have went for the chip, I thought. in my opinion, but it can be somewhat forgiven in the fact that, you know, Isak's only just came back from an injury. So obviously he's not going to be quite match fit, match sharp, if you will. But not great result at all. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Until next time, I'll see you all for the next one. And how are the lads?